This is how the script flips. This is the moment the tables turn. Not with shouting, but with quiet competence and the unexpected flash of a company ID. You know the feeling, the knot in your gut when the denial lands, delivered with that sickly sweet institutional smile. The boarding agent, the bank manager, the authority figure, they've already decided who you are and why you don't belong here. They deploy the oldest weapon, the vague citation of policy. I'm sorry, sir, ma'am, but policy dictates we must deny you service or access this opportunity. That word, policy, is designed to shut down debate, to leave you stranded in indignation. But policy is a document that can be read, cited, and turned into a cold, hard weapon of accountability. Forget screaming about how wrong they are. Focus on what they actually said. Better than shouting, the rule that shuts the room is the rule they violated, cited by you calmly. Let's watch Maya. Maya, holding a first-class ticket for a critical transcontinental flight, approached the priority gate. Agent Gary looked her over, dismissing her professionally composed appearance for a stereotype. She handed over her phone. The machine chirped green for boarding. Gary didn't move the rope. He leaned into the counter. "I'm sorry, Miss Vance. We have an issue with your carry-on luggage." Maya looked at the sleek regulation-sized roller case. The dimensions were checked at check-in. It's regulation. "It's not the size, ma'am," Gary said, lowering his voice, a classic tactic to make her feel isolated. "It's the contents. Policy requires us to check all large baggage that looks at capacity at the gate." He didn't look at the visibly bulging bags of the two white male passengers next to her. His eyes were locked on Maya, challenging her. The common mistake is launching into a furious, ego-driven defense. When the institution's ego is protected by a uniform, you lose. Maya didn't raise her voice above a conversational hum. She took a centering breath. This is the justice prep ritual. Maya executed it in 30 seconds. Step 1. Grounding and posture. Posture tall. Release the adrenaline. Quiet breath. In through the nose. 2 beats hold. Out through the mouth. 4 beats release. Less panic. More proof. Step 2. Witness mode. Engaged. Maya's hand slipped into her coat pocket, tapping the shortcut that starts recording discreetly. Silence is evidence. Time and location logged internally. Gate 14, 7:15 a.m. Agent Gary. I am an observer documenting facts, not a participant in a shouting match. Step 3. The neutral policy line. Prep a neutral phrase. Maya chose. I understand you are citing policy regarding carry-on contents. Could you please show me the specific rule number in the operations manual that requires selective inspection based on visual judgment of capacity post-check-in approval? Step 4. The escalation ladder. Next line. Ready. I need to speak to your supervisor, Mr. Stevens, immediately, and I require a copy of that specific policy language before I step aside. Maya looked back up at Gary. Gary, she said, reading his name clearly, which made him flinch. I need the specific policy number. Is this a TSA requirement, a contractual airline rule, or an internal procedure for Gate 14? Gary stammered. It's the standard security protocol, ma'am. I don't carry the manual with me. Understood, Maya replied. Then please call the supervisor who does carry the manual. I must resolve this now, as I am about to miss my flight because of this selective enforcement. Gary made the critical mistake of doubling down on the insult. Look, I just need to make sure you're not trying to carry something past us, okay? People like you often try to push boundaries. The implication hung there, sickening and obvious. People like you. Maya didn't react emotionally. She just nodded slightly, acknowledging the recorded statement, and then she said the sentence that stops the room. I am happy to comply with any specific security procedure. However, the selective and racially biased application of an unwritten rule, especially one impeding my travel for a compliance matter, is something I need to document fully. If you cannot provide the rule, I need your supervisor, Mr. Stevens, and the station manager, immediately. The tone shifted from customer service dispute to corporate liability investigation. Gary fumbled for the radio. 5 minutes later, Mr. Stevens, the supervisor, arrived, annoyed. "What's the problem, Gary?" "She's refusing to let me check her bag, sir, and demanding policy numbers." Stevens sighed, turning to Maya. "Ma'am, we need to move the line. If Gary asks you to check the bag, you must comply. It's standard." "Mr. Stevens," Maya interrupted, her voice gaining cold authority, "I am happy to check the bag, provided you sign a report stating that this mandatory action was initiated based on Agent Gary's belief that I was attempting to circumvent security protocols for an unusual item, and that this decision was based on a visually discriminatory assessment of my luggage, and not on any scanner alert or stated regulation." The gate went silent. Stevens looked from the pristine luggage to Maya's composed face. He knew paperwork like that meant HR involvement and potential delays. "Ma'am, let's just get you on the flight. This is wasting time." "It is costing us time, Mr. Stevens," Maya corrected him precisely. "I need that signature on the report, or I need the full written citation that permits your staff to engage in selective gate baggage searches without cause." Stevens stared hard at her, searching for the crack. He found only certainty. He reached for an incident report pad. "Fine. What exactly do you need me to write down, ma'am?" Maya didn't tell him what to write down. She pulled out a matte black leather credential case. It snapped open. The day the badge flipped. The ID inside was for the Department of Transportation, DOT, Aviation Compliance and Safety Audit Group. Maya Vance wasn't just a tech executive. She was the DOT's lead external compliance advisor, meeting the FAA tomorrow to discuss findings of an ongoing regulatory review of this exact airline's gate operations policies. She placed the badge calmly on the counter, the reflective hologram catching the light. "Mr. Stevens," Maya's voice was now entirely flat, procedural, and lethal. "My name is Maya Vance. I am here representing the DOT as the lead compliance officer for the Q1 gate procedure review. You and Agent Gary have just confirmed one of the primary behavioral patterns we are investigating: the selective application of non-existent policy to harass and delay protected class passengers." Gary's face went ash white. Stevens went from annoyed supervisor to terrified employee. The policy they had used to marginalize her was the very thing she was auditing. "Ms. Vance, I apologize. We did not know." "Of course you didn't know," Maya stated, tucking the badge away. "If I had identified myself immediately, I wouldn't have been able to observe the standard procedure. Now, before I board, I need your full names, employee numbers, and a completed incident report detailing your actions, citing the non-existent policy you used to justify my selective search." Accountability arrived quickly. Gary was immediately removed from gate duties. Stevens was suspended. The greater consequence was systemic. Maya's documented incident, complete with the recorded admission of bias, was the final evidence that triggered severe regulatory findings. The DOT imposed substantial fines and mandated a complete overhaul of the airline's frontline training regarding non-discrimination and policy adherence. This is the power of documentation and policy knowledge. It moves the outcome from personal shame to institutional failure. Policy beats ego every single time. They fear the rulebook far more than they fear your anger. When facing institutional bias, remember these core facts are: 1. Competence is your shield. The people wielding policy are often the least knowledgeable. Know how to ask for the specific rule number, the chapter and verse. 2. Always find the paper trail. Documentation ends the excuse. If they won't give you the paperwork, you create it. Record names, dates, times, and exactly what was said. Never leave a racist encounter without a time-stamped note on your phone describing the interaction. 3. Name the bias calmly. Don't shout the accusation. State the observation as a fact that requires redress. I observe that you are enforcing this unwritten rule only against me, which constitutes discriminatory practice. I need to know why. Always respect your limits. Avoid physical confrontation. Safety first. Use policy knowledge for leverage, never for provoking violence. Learn the basic non-discrimination statutes that cover public accommodation where you live. We are writing new scripts now, scripts where the person targeted for abuse is revealed to be the authority on the law. I challenge you to choose one action today. 1. Identify and save 3 crucial non-discrimination policy numbers, e.g., from your workplace HR manual, local housing rules, or common airline contract of carriage rules. Put them in a note on your phone. 2. Practice. The neutral phrase, I would like a copy of that policy and the name of your supervising officer, please. Say it out loud until it feels solid and natural. 3. Commit you to running the 3-step prep, centering breath, witness mode, neutral phrase. The next time you feel that knot of injustice tightening in your gut, start small. Start today. Start with less fear, more clarity, more dignity.